All right, and we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Conversations with Sarah on our first day back after the summer. It is August 26th, 2016, and we have with us Guru Dan and Christopher. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello, Sarah.
Hello, welcome. Hello to the YouTubers out there as well. You are all welcome to come join us Fridays at 4 p.m. We might move it to 6 just to make it easier for people to be able to join us, for those in the U.S. as well. And please come from Quantum Galactic Society and Crystal Healers of Gaia as well. We're also posted there as well. And much love to everyone. Good day. Well, let's start with the new energies from last week and this week. So apparently, we have just gone through a semi-lunar eclipse. And with this semi-lunar eclipse came new energies of crystalline energy. I was introduced to information of crystalline trees, crystalline animals, and crystalline beings that have been here since the early stages of creation on this planet Gaia. So it's been very interesting. Every time something new popped up, I began channeling the information. So below, I will put the links to the crystalline trees. There is a national park in the United States where you can go and visit them. It's quite interesting. And I will post up later on some of the channelings that came through them. So I just want to connect with Christopher and Guru Dan. How has the energies been working for you lately? Christopher, let's start with you.
That's an interesting question, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a wonderful place, not just here in the moment. I have been over the last few days, and can I say the energies are part of that? Yes, of course. I couldn't put my finger on it, to be honest with you, but I mean, I'm spending a lot of time of lately in nature.
Wonderful.
It's interesting that you've brought the topic up on trees, and basically I go into nature to come out of the reality that I'm accustomed to on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
And once I get into the forest, I'm a different person, like, you know. Wonderful things are happening to me in the forest, and quite amazing, actually. Can I tell you a quick story of something that happened to me recently?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Yeah, I had a session there recently with Neil, you know Neil, channel, and we were finished the session, and I brought to his attention, I'd come out of the forest. There's a particular place I go to in the forest, and it's basically very quiet, like there's only me and my dog and whatever else that's alive around me. And I was leaving the forest, and this bird caught my eye in a stream, and I was looking at the bird from a distance, and I'd never ever seen a bird like it in this reality, and that's what caught my eye. I do a bit of bird watching when I'm in the forest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that bird is different, and it held me for about 5 minutes, and I got to a position where I could actually relax and watch the bird, and it was a beautiful small black bird with a snow white chest. Really unusual, never seen it before. So anyway, I brought this information to Neil at the end of the session, and he blew me away, like, you know. And I'm always calling in the elementals in the fairy realm when I'm in the forest, and um, just a bit of a chant I have when I get in there, like, you know. But basically, like, you know, the board was a message, and he was there for a particular reason, you know, to make contact with me, and uh, he was from the fairy realm, and he was a great king, and that had known me in the past, and wanted to make contact with me, like, you know. So uh, Neil made contact with this fairy, like, and the conversation went on for nearly half an hour between us, like, and blew me away completely. Now, but what was more amazing was I went back to the same spot the following morning, and he was there again. Like, I was saying, oh my God, like, you know, this time I spent longer in the area, like, you know, and I was trying to feel the energy, like, around the board, the fairy, like, you know, and I could sense it, and I was kneeling against a tree, and my dog was running around, but the stones and the water that the board was on started to move. And I thought I was actually getting dizzy, and I said, "No, this is just your imagination." And I paused for a few seconds, and I stood back, and then I went in again. And now the stones were moving around where the board was, like, and I said, "It's happening again," like, you know. And so that happened to me a few days ago, like, and basically it blew me away, and I came out of the forest like a big child, like, you know, dying to tell everybody my story, like, and here I am explaining it to you and Dan, like, you know. It was quite interesting.
Did you go and touch the stones as they were moving?
No, believe it or not, I was standing by a tree, and I was looking into the stream, and the stones and the board was in the center of, say, this flowing stream, and it's just the water level had dropped, and I was watching it, and it was about maybe 20 feet away from me, and but I got myself into a relaxed position by the tree where I was just sort of gazing at the board, like, and then this started to happen, like, and then I sort of stood up, as I said, just to make sure that I wasn't just getting dizzy, or I tried to deny it, to be honest with you. Like, I said, no, this is not real, like, until I positioned myself again, and it happened again for me, like, you know. And I said, that's what happened again, like, you know. So but the board remained there, like, and as I said, it was a quite unusual board. When I seen it the first time, I said, that board is not from around here, like, I've never seen anything like that in my life, like, you know. So but it was quite interesting what came out of it during the session with Neil, and he basically blew me away with the information that was coming in. And I just said I go down, as I said, the following day to have a look, and of course I went down the following day, and we were back to square one, like, you know. So it was a wonderful experience.
So the next time you go there and you experience a similar experience, because it will not be the same, it will be a similar experience, I would like for you to go to the water. And if the water is too deep to actually get into, I would like for you to at least put your hands in it and feel the vibration of the water as you are watching this occurrence.
There's been once or twice in that moment that I actually looked at the depth of the water, and I was actually saying, can I get in here? And where they were standing, the water was actually deep. It would have came up over my knees, like, you know. Now I didn't mind that, like, but I had my dog with me, and he's quite afraid of, he likes water, but he wouldn't get in with me. So I was watching him, and I was trying to keep him quiet because he had a bell on his neck, and I didn't want him to distract the board, like, you know. So I was trying to keep things as quiet as possible while I was in this process, like, you know. But yeah, definitely, next time, Sarah, that definitely could happen.
That's beautiful. Thank you for your experience, for explaining it to us.
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
No problem. It was a pleasure. Yeah. So
Yes.
there's something in the forest that's watching me. Like I was told in the past, I had a strong connection to the elemental and the fairy realm, but um, I didn't take it too seriously. Like, even though I'm drawn to the forest all the time, and it takes me, as I say, the reality that I'm accustomed to, and I feel when I'm in there, like I'm safe and I'm home and I'm free and nothing can harm me. Like, the sort of way, and I'm being protected and yeah, it's my second home.
Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
see, that's where the non-physical energy, it is real. Our imagination connects us to this non-physical energy. Everything within the concepts of imagination is in fact real, and we're coming to this discovery as we explore ourselves more and this reality more. So it is wonderful that you are following your instinctual uh, feelings and imagination in this. And don't be afraid to follow where it's leading to. Yes? You automatically had an understanding, hey, maybe I should get into the water.
Yeah, yeah. When Neil was channeling this fairy, he actually said that he knew he knew that I knew at that first moment what it was. He says
Mm-hmm.
he knew, and he he was trying to get a message to me to send energy to him from my heart. But I mean, I was lost. I was just caught up in this wonderful creature that I knew didn't come from this reality. But he said, I knew the first time I seen it what it was and why it was there.
Yes.
But I was still doubting it slightly, like, my ego mind was sort of, well, maybe Christy, it's a magpie, like, that sort of way. But I knew, I said, no, no. And it was only, I says, I'm going to go down there in the morning again. And when I went back the following morning and I looked from a distance, I said, and I have, I mean, glasses, and I was saying, I don't believe this, like, he's back in
Mm-hmm.
the same spot, like, sort of way. And it was quite interesting, like.
Wonderful. And
Yeah,
that first instinctual idea of what it is usually the right one.
yeah. Oh, I knew when
Yes.
when I seen the board first, and I said, no, I have to get to a better position because I was too far away. I need to get to a better position so I can get closer to him, like, and I did. And I just gazed at him, and he was hopping around, like, and I was saying, this is
Mm-hmm.
meant to be. This is meant to be, like, and there I lasted the first time for about maybe 5, 7, 8 minutes. And then I moved on. I think the board got distracted by my dog. And then I just gave it to Neil, and basically, like, he blew me away then with the information. Like, my
Mm-hmm.
dog here is jumping
I
around.
hear him.
Yeah, so, yeah, I
Wonderful energy. Thank you for your story.
mean, it's a
Guru
pleasure.
Dan, has anything interesting happened to you lately?
Who, me? No, nothing happens to me ever. No, I just finished posting all the links to all the things that you'd been talking about on all the sites. So
Oh, wonderful.
the tree
Thank you.
article and the petrified forest link from the national government. It's in Arizona.
Yes.
Petrified forest. So the crystalline energy from the petrified trees. The trees that were petrified were not carbon-based trees; they were silicon-based trees, and that opened up a whole flood of energy from when our planet was silicon-based instead of carbon-based. And so it's been a very interesting several days, as you know. But the rest of the people don't know what this means.
Mm-hmm.
They some people think of our planet as, all the history that's been given about the planet so far has been the carbon-based history. They're not giving any of the silicon-based history, ancient Earth histories that are available through this silicon energy. Very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Sean. Sean just
Hello,
arrived.
Sean. Welcome. Guru Dan, I would like for you to give your perspective on it. Give the story that you have perceived on your own.
The story that I was given on my own. Yeah, wow. So there was a time on Earth when the Earth was very young, and it was silicon-based and not carbon-based. And these huge trees, really, these trees were the size of counties, right? They're 30 miles by 30 miles. They might be, 50 miles high, some of them. They were big, big trees. The landscape was all silicon-based, and the entire planet was connected to, like, not just the solar system, but the entire universe, not just our galaxy, but all the galaxies. Everything was connected, and it was a time of great communication and high vibration. And when that realm came to an end, the trees were cut down / destroyed. They were taken down. Lower vibrational energies began to have effect on it, and the entire Silicon Empire kind of collapsed all around the Earth. Well, the Earth didn't have a crust at that time. It was just the silicon coating. And as the entire silicon realm kind of collapsed in on the Earth, that's kind of what helped create the Earth's crust. So the Earth didn't have a crust until then. Hello, Chris. Welcome in.
Hey, how's it
Welcome,
going?
Chris.
So there was some creation energy that came in after that kind of was in charge of the new growth in all the different variables of frequency from that realm. So it began to all get overgrown.
Mm-hmm.
And so it has. So some of the places that we consider some of the most beautiful places on Earth, to the silicon energy, is still, it still looks like decimation to them. So it's really quite interesting, their perspective on the planet. But it's a very big part of our ancient Earth history that it seems nobody talks about. Nobody even mentions it. Nobody even considers, what about the Silicon era? It's like, we don't have any information on it. So it's like they say it doesn't exist almost, but it does. And it's around us, and it's all around us, and it's around us in the silicon energy. Or not silicon energy, but the crystalline energy.
Yes.
So the solidified crystalline silicon, the solidified silicon energy is crystalline. And so it's making me look at crystals different. It's making me look at trees different. It's making me look at the landscape completely different, and it's making me reconsider the complete Earth history, because our Earth history is not complete. Far from it. Very, very far from it.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens with this little bit of information is it causes a lot more questions, tons more questions. So I'm looking forward to spending more time communicating with the silicon beings and the silicon energy to see if I can piece together more of the history. That would be important. And another thing that they had mentioned was that they want to bring awareness to their existence, that the silicon energy would like to amplify, along with all the other energies that are amplifying on Earth right now. They're very much a big part of Gaia. Gaia is raising her vibration. She is going up, and we're coming back into a vibration where the silicon energy and silicon information can be released. Very big deal. Very, very big deal. So I'm very eager to find out what we learn next, because we're going to find out all kinds of cool stuff. It just is.
So within this last week and a half, we have come across a number of things. So there was a post on Facebook about a caterpillar that had a silicon crystal back, and it was just crawling. So it's both carbon and silicon-based being. Now, this is interesting because when I saw that, my first reaction was, oh my God, how is this even possible? Okay? This is sort of happening at the beginning phase for humanity. You see, we know ourselves to be carbon-based, and what is happening now, we are raising our vibration, and as we raise our vibrations, we're becoming more silicon-based. And it's astounding that all of these energies that have been here for eons, is now showing up seemingly out of the blue. The crystalline trees, this crystalline carbon-based caterpillar that's right in between. And there would be other animals coming and showing themselves as both crystalline and carbon-based, because we are vibrating to this new frequency, this new era where we will also become both carbon and crystalline. We are that now. It's just we perceive ourselves as being more carbon.
Yeah,
and
that
we are
was
vibrating up to crystalline at this moment.
yeah, that was the weird part of it, is realizing, the bone parts of us are carbon, but the water-based parts of us are more silicon. And it's neat that the surface of our planet is both silicon and carbon. And then we, as beings that are manifest onto the planet, are both silicon and carbon. And the similarities were just like, whoa, I never thought of it that way before.
Yes.
So that makes perfect sense, because if you come from from trying to give context to it, if you come from the idea that the bodies were created on the surface of the planet, so as you put on your earthling suit, so we manifest into the human bodies, that the bodies were created actually out of the available energies of the planet, and the available energies at the time were carbon and silicon. And so our bodies are both carbon and silicon. But we don't usually think of it that way. We think, oh, we're just humans, or we're just earthlings, or we're just whatever label you want to give it. But we're really much more complex than that. But what we are is we're an exact even match to the surface of the planet, to the planet.
And
Very
so when you,
interesting.
yes, when you look at stone, when you look at sand, when you look at water, and all of these things were, well, at least the stone and the sand were perceived as carbon. But as you look into a microscope, you see a lot of silicon, a lot of crystallization going on. It's such an interesting topic. I know it's a little scientific, and I do not have a scientific background, but this is what's been coming the last week and a half. Let's put that out there. I do not have a scientific background. However, I am channeling these beings, and they would like to become a part of our awareness now, a part of our frequency now, which is so amazing. I'm so excited. This is a whole new scope of things that I never knew existed. So, yes.
So some of the sessions that have been had, they're going to be, what is it when you put them in the text? They'll be transcribed and put in the text and posted. So the sessions will be posted, the beings will be posted. That's all coming as it gets transcribed from the recordings. But we're not going to post. We're not going to post the recordings. We're just going to transcribe just the important bits of it and put that out put that information out and make it available to everybody later so that they can look the information over and go, might be something here to this.
Mm-hmm.
So I posted the the article that started it all is posted on the Sarah's events page and the YouTube page. I hadn't posted it. Well, Sarah posted it the other day on her Facebook, so it's all available, readily available. You can find it rather quickly.
Chris, you had a question.
Well, I didn't hear all the beginning, but these silica beings, how do you connect more to them then?
Well, the way I did it was just by looking at the pictures that were being shown on the article, and they automatically connected to me. But I am a channeler, so I'm able to connect to really, really high vibrations in that way. It wasn't just the silicon trees that connected to me. The salt flats also connected to me within the same day because that was also part of the article. It was the salt flats, the trees, and what else, Dan?
Well, it was a silicon tree initially. The energy of the silicon tree, it was a crystalline silicon tree, oddly enough. And then the hexagonal shaped salt flat, that energy came.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Carolina.
Hello, Carolina.
And what we found out about the salt flat was the remains of one of these larger silicon beings. The entire salt flat was what's the remains of one being, one silicon being. And it's kind of like, whoa, these things were monstrous. They were huge. Huge,
Giants.
epic, huge. Giant is another word. And they're proposing that some of these things that we call mountains and some of these things that we call, these rocks that just jet out of the ground, that they're not rocks at all. They're actually the remains of these trees and remains of these other silicon beings and decomposed silicon entities. Just mind-boggling. You kind of do need to look at the article to get a little bit more context. Some of the article, it's an interesting presentation of the information, and then as Sarah and I got talking about it, and then the silicon tree being just chimed in, and it because
And I had no idea.
sometimes Sarah channels by default will be talking and talking and talking. Next thing you know, somebody else is talking through Sarah and go, "Hi, who are you? I'm a silicon being." "Oh, hi, silicon being. Have you been listening to us?" "Yeah, we've been listening. We thought we'd come help you out." That's kind of how conversations with Sarah kind of got born.
Yeah.
From things like that. So, yeah, and then the hexagonal energy came. And then later, then another being came. I forgot who that was. And then later, the tree energy and the hexagonal silicon energy joined and kind of decided to be one voice.
A collective consciousness, yes.
A collective voice through Sarah, so that the silicon energy so that they could access more information and still get it all put out there. So there's going to be more information from these silicon beings. Another thing that was important was that a lot of times I'm not quite sure how to word it. We kind of perceive the past as a lower vibrational. They present the past as a lower vibrational thing. They say, oh, the cavemen, they didn't know nothing. No, the cavemen were quite high vibrational. The beings that were in our past were not lower vibration. They're actually higher vibration. The silicon realm of our planet, when it existed, was a much higher vibration than this one. That we're a piece of the bottom of the vibration, and they were actually a higher vibration. And that's important to remember, that they weren't lesser than. or lower than. They were actually higher than. And we don't think like those ways anymore. But the information's beginning to come back. We've finally risen in vibration enough on the ascending planet that now this information is available to us again. So we're ascending.
Mm-hmm.
And as we ascend, more and more ascended information becomes available. And so that's what this presentation is kind of about, is saying, hey, we found out about the silicon energy. There's a lot more to it than we are aware of right now. It's pretty huge information at this point, very important, going to change our history, and more energy will be coming and more will be released as we get it disseminated and put out there. So it wants the people to know that it's there, that it has information to share, and boy, is it going to be interesting. And that's about all I got for that, for just that part, without hogging up the whole thing. This is supposed to be Sarah's time.
That's okay. This has to do with everyone. Okay. Um, Hello, Carolina. We'd like you to chime in and say hi to everyone.
Hi guys, much love.
Hello, much love.
I just arrived to England, so I'm a bit jet lagged, but I love listening to you guys, sending you all my love.
Oh, we send you our love as well. Thank you for joining us today. And thank you as well to Sean. Sean, you want to chime in as well?
I want to say much love to everyone.
Much love.
Thought it was very interesting about the caterpillar being silicon-based. But since I don't know enough information about it, I'll just say much love to the caterpillar and much love.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Sean. Can we also get the link to the video of the silicon caterpillar?
Yeah,
Dan?
give me a minute. I gotta go hunt it down.
Thank you.
That's another site. Hang on, I gotta get there.
That would be awesome, because this energy is rising, and it would like for everyone to know that it's here, that we can connect to it, that it is part of our planet. So awesome things are happening. All right. Sean, have you had any new experiences lately?
Just hold on. No, but I am surprised about the acceleration of the silicon-based life forms. I'm extremely surprised that we have actually found, a creature that's half silicon, half carbon. I was not expecting that to happen for decades, and yet it's happening now. So I am extremely surprised and happy about it.
Isn't it wonderful? I was like, wow, this has happened. It already exists. And it existed for a very long period of time. It's just as the vibrational frequencies had lowered from, some people say, sixth dimension, and then fifth dimension, and then fourth dimension, and then third dimension. Third dimension, we became more carbon-based. And so as we're rising towards the fourth at this moment, they're coming back and we're noticing them. It is completely amazing, completely astounding, and I can't wait to see more examples of this in nature. And so the caterpillar, wow. Hello, Carolina. Have you had any new experience? Oh, Sean, you wanted to continue?
Oh, sorry, Sean. Go ahead.
I just wanted to point out that I don't think it's a coincidence that it's a caterpillar. I think there's a reason why it's a caterpillar, and that's all I'll say, because I'm not sure. I just felt guided to say that it's a caterpillar for a very specific reason.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Carolina?
I just wanted to share this dream. It's very interesting interesting that you mentioned caterpillars because 2 nights ago I had a dream that I was having lunch with these people. I don't remember if they were humans or not. There was just beings, and I had a long coat, and suddenly they were flicking off caterpillars of my coat, and I thought that was so weird because I didn't see them in my coat, but they were flicking off caterpillars. So I just wanted to say that because I never dream about caterpillars. I don't think I've ever had in my life, but I just thought I'd mention it now that you're talking about caterpillars.
That's
This
awesome.
this happened 2 nights ago. I don't know what that means, but yeah, they were stuck to my coat.
That's beautiful, Carolina. Thank you for sharing that.
It's
That's
alright.
right on time, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
That's gorgeous. Thank you. Chris, do you have something to say?
I'm just that I've had seen a lot of butterflies that hang around my family and I've noticed that. And here recently, I don't know. We got a nice backyard, and I'm hoping that we see more of this crystalline stuff because need to see more of it in the I guess mainstream too. That'd be awesome.
Yes, definitely so. Yes, welcome, whispering teams. How may we call you? Oh, you're Christina. Thank you. Are you able to speak? Does your microphone work? You're in New Zealand in PJs. All right, that's okay. You don't have to turn your camera on, just your microphone. And she has company. That's fine too. Thank you. Awesome. Okay. It's funny because a friend of mine, while I was channeling the crystalline energy, they asked for a blessing, and the blessing was a really high-pitched vibration. I'm just remembering that. That was pretty awesome, though. Right, Dan? You're muted.
That was for me actually. Yeah, I asked the being for a blessing, and next thing I know, Sarah's screeching at me. It's like, oh wow, far out. That was interesting. Yeah. All right. I found the jewel caterpillar, but I didn't find the exact jewel caterpillar post. I've had to find a link on YouTube for the jewel caterpillar.
Yeah, that's fine.
So let me get the link to it here, and I'll get that posted up for everybody in just a moment.
Yes.
Did you
It's
say that was
interesting because
the which collective did you say that was? The crystalline?
yes.
Who are they? Crystals?
Yes, crystal silica energy.
Ah, okay.
And we're
Oh,
raising our frequencies to match. And this is how we're able to reconnect to this energy.
beautiful.
Yes, and it's been occurring at least to me and to Dan and to a couple of others who have been hanging out with me lately, the last week and a half. So this energy wants to be known. Too many occurrences, too many different facets of it began coming once I knew about it. So I don't know another word for it, but amazing. So I suggest everyone look at the article, look at the crystalline, the caterpillar, connect to your own crystalline frequency as well through meditations, through connecting to the trees. The trees, they'll teach you a lot about yourself and about the world around you. Yes, welcome, Bree.
Hello, I've been listening. I'm getting ready to go somewhere, so I wasn't able to join, but I wanted to quickly jump in here and ask. I'm really curious if you could maybe talk a little bit about how, because like, you remember that post that went viral about, it was like look at this, however many-year-old giant tree stump that is absolutely humongous and looks like a mountain and people thought was a mountain until now. This'll totally make
That was
you
the one.
reevaluate your understanding, blah, blah, blah. Do you think that this is maybe related, like that could have been a
That is the one.
silicone-based?
That is the article that began this whole
Oh!
amazing discovery for me, because
Oh,
I
that's
had
hilarious, because that's
no
exactly what I was...
idea, and I reposted
Okay,
it everywhere I could.
nice!
Because this energy wanted to be known, and I had no idea until, as I was reading it, I began channeling it right then and there. Like, it was so easy for me
Okay,
to
I
just
must
throw
have
it out
missed
had
that.
that not happened.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. I must have missed that when you had first started talking, but I totally am excited to see this snail. Because
It's a
that sounds
caterpillar.
awesome. Okay, sorry,
Yes.
caterpillar. I've been running around.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
fine. There's probably a snail out there too.
Well, yeah, like I'm thinking like a little snail shell, but caterpillar's even cooler, so
Yeah.
yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah. It's gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Has any new experiences happened with you before you go, Bree? Have you had any new experiences that have opened your mind lately?
Well, in regards to the current energies, I guess I don't know what has been going on. I don't know if it's like it also, I'm sure, is related to like the astrological changes and everything. I've just been in this super weird funk, and I'm just kind of, I mean, my whole life is about to change because I'm like moving and everything's changing, and so I'm sure it'll be better once I get settled, but I'm definitely
Mm-hmm.
going through some really weird stuff right now, and so yeah, I can't really report anything in particular other than just lots of weirdness, and I'm just excited to move forward from here and like really be able to focus on raising the vibrations and understanding the whole ball game, not ignoring the other aspects and only focusing on good things, but really just like being realistic. And yeah, so
Yes.
things are going good, but boy, it sounds like you've had quite a party this last week.
Oh, definitely so. Yes. Thank you, Bree. And it's just the new energy. It's just allowing everything that has been hidden to rise to the surface again. So it's even the good, the bad, the ugly, the wonderful, all of it is starting to rise to the surface for many of us. And it can be a little daunting realizing certain ideas and feelings and emotions that have been deep and that are now coming up. So I totally understand, Bree. Totally. And it's here to teach us. It would teach us how to be stronger, and it teaches us uh, wisdom, acceptance, and courage. So you will get through this, and much love to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Sarah. Loved you as well.
Yes. I believe we had Armron come. Oh, he didn't come in all the way. Yes. Anyone else have any comments?
Well, I could add in here quickly that one thing that has been exciting for me is since our retreat at Hot Springs, Arkansas, I've been having these really interesting dreams quotes around the dreams word because, like, I'm still kind of getting started with a lot of this stuff
Mm-hmm.
and getting familiarized, and so I can't say that like I've, as far as I'm aware, I know I do it when I sleep, but I haven't like tried astral projection or any of that stuff, so like that is not something I've even tried to do yet, but I know that we all can and we do. And so since the retreat, I've been having a lot of dreams about meeting with human colony people.
Yes.
And like being in like these big houses like we were at the retreat and like talking and doing all these things. And so I'll remember them, and sometimes if I remember enough of it, I'll write it down, and like I'll talk to other people in human colony, and they're like, yeah, dude, I was there too, and we were doing this and that, and there was like this conversation about this. So I just had another confirmation the other day that there was this big meeting in the astral, and it's just so cool to like tell somebody about your dream, and then they're like, yeah, I was there. I know. I remember. And actually, the one I'm referring to, you and Guru Dan, I remember seeing both of you in that dream.
Yay!
And Carolina and Joe, I had mentioned this to Joe. That's why I thought of this now, because he was able to confirm that that meeting had actually happened, and that was actually on like the that was just the other, like last week. So it must have been like the night of the 19th, I believe, is when that happened. So I don't know if you have any recollection, Sarah or Guru Dan. I was meaning to mention it to you guys, but it's just cool. It's like I like that sort of stuff. So that's one good report I guess I can give, that I'm like starting to remember some things that I do in my busy sleep time. So it's fun stuff.
Wonderful. Thank you for letting me know. I do recall a dream that was very magical and that I did see a lot of people. I don't quite remember the date, but that would make sense since there was that was where the partial lunar eclipse happened on the 18th, and right after that was the 19th. So yes, wonderful.
Oh, very
Thank
interesting.
you. Yes.
Okay. I didn't know about that, about the eclipse, or the partial eclipse. So, wow, even more fascinating. I mean, because the stuff always lines up and yada yada. It's cool. So, yeah. I'm gonna
Awesome.
keep on keeping on here and doing my best to remember and setting the intention, because that makes a big difference and all that fun stuff. So yeah, it's really good, and I've been watching a lot of stuff about pyramids recently, so it's
Me
completely
too.
like I've gotten sucked in yet again. So that's been my life.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Chris, you have something to add?
Yeah, I think, well, I've had several dreams kind of like that, and I remember that there's a lot of people there, and we're kind of in groups, and we're sitting around in circles. I remember smiling and laughing a lot, but I don't remember what I say or what I do. I guess one that I came lucid in, that I kept asking this guide or whoever was directing me where to go, what year was it? And it was the most bizarrest thing, because it was like almost like a house, but there was people in these rooms. I was saying hi to all of them, and then I was directed off, and I was on top of this dirt mound. It almost felt like, I don't know if you ever had tilled dirt, what that felt like, but I was led down the hill into like a diner, and that's where a bunch of us, I don't know who or where was at. So it was kind of a bizarre, unique experience that I kind of, became lucid and started, wanting to know different things. But usually, I have a lot of these dreams where I'm with a lot of group of people, and we're kind of sitting around, and I don't know what we're doing.
All of the above, I guess.
Yeah.
Traveling timelines and traveling distant galaxies and things. That's
For
wonderful.
instance,
Thank you.
yeah, I just recently got it was almost like a postcard. It was like I did like a mental flash, and it was 7, maybe 5, 7. I don't remember how many of lion beings. I don't know who they were.
Lion beings.
Yeah, it looked very humanoid though.
Oh, Dan, Guru Dan, yes. Okay, so I'm happy you said that because I wanted to have a segue into lion beings because I did channel a blue lion the day after I channeled the crystalline being, and it was powerful. And they're coming back as well.
I saw
Not
blue.
so soon, but they're coming back.
There was like this blue lion toy. I don't know what it was, but it looked like really strong. You know, it looked like wide shoulders and then tapered up. And then I grabbed it and I looked at him like, man, I really want to be like this guy because he's, you know, really strong or whatever. And then after that, the postcard came or whatever. I call it postcard because they're all, you know, posing.
Yeah, I always want to cry because you're connecting to this energy as well. Like, because, a year and a half ago, I had a dream about 2 blue lions, and they were waving at me. And I found out they were my protectors. And they were on this planet a very long time ago when the vibrational frequency was much higher. And so as these crystalline energies are coming in, I guess it was time for the blue lion to show itself. And it channeled through me the day after the crystalline tree and the hexagonal salt flats channeled through me.
It was that night.
No, the day after.
Was it the day after?
Yes.
Well, then who else? Because there was another.
I'm just like, wow.
I can't keep track of all your beings. There's too many of them.
Yeah. It was amazing, and it had a very strong energy, very big and heavy, and it was powerful.
Yeah, I would say more intense instead of heavy. Heavy is probably not a good. It was intense, and it was very bold.
It was very intense. Yes, bold. So I'm happy
Guys,
you're connecting to this as well. It's just amazing. Thank you for telling me.
I wanted to ask, so do you think these beings are joining up together to raise a vibration? Do you think that's why?
That's one of the reasons. But the other reason is that our vibrations are already rising because the planet has decided to move up in dimensional frequency. And we decided to ride the planet as it's happening. And so because we are raising our frequencies, we are able to connect to those higher frequencies. Meaning, when I say higher, I mean they are moving faster and faster frequencies. Okay? Everything is vibration, sound, color, light. And as the vibration moves faster, you will get into the crystalline energies. So as our vibration rises, as the planet is moving dimensionally higher, we are able to reconnect to those crystalline energies.
Thank you, that's beautiful.
Thank you. Dan, you had something to say?
Yeah, it's just that, we're riding a planet that's ascending. We're ascending with her. And as she ascends and we're ascending on her, as she gets into the higher vibrations, these other higher vibrational information becomes available, and we're able to pick that up.
Yes.
So, it wouldn't have been possible. Now, I know I hear them say that this is the first time that the residents of a planet are able to ride a planet through its ascension, that it's not happened before. So we're going to be getting into a lot of stuff that we don't know anything about, lots of energies that we've never experienced before. Yeah, Christopher's throwing up a question mark. Okay. Many planets ascend. They'll go from one dimension, they'll change vibrations, but usually as they ascend, the beings on the surface of the planet will incarnate off. They'll have some catastrophe or something. They'll incarnate off. They'll go somewhere else for a little while, float around in creation, and then manifest back on the planet again after and come back as a higher vibrational being. But this time we're riding the planet too. Everybody's not leaving. So it's just the only closest story that I have to that is when all the dinosaurs left so the planet could rise, and then beings came back onto the planet again. So, yeah. Well, yeah. A stream from the higher worlds. Yeah. Then some of the higher worlds are this world, I'm finding out. It's very quite
Yes,
interesting.
exactly.
Just as far, I don't know if they're related. I'd have to go read up on Tom Kenyon. I haven't read about it, but Whispering Team just posted a thing on that. But yeah, so we're writing this planet. All kinds of new energies are available. Some information that wasn't available before is becoming more available. The silicon energies are wanting to chime in, and they're wanting the people to, energetically understand that they're there. Yeah, on the same page. Good. All right,
So I have a
good.
question about that.
All right.
So how do you guys see would be the easiest? Because this is like brand new, like newsflash. Okay, so here we have another piece of information that's coming through from higher dimensional entities coming to us, so that we
Not
are able
necessarily.
to.
It's more that it's coming directly through Gaia.
Okay, so coming through Gaia from higher places for our knowledge, for our growth and expansion, so that we can. Yes, so our awareness. So I understand that these messages are channeled or given in different ways, and so whatever it may be, whether you connect to it or it connects to you or however, like for something like this that is measurable by science, then it becomes the issue of getting scientists to be able to implement studies based off of the source of where this information is coming and the knowledge. So wouldn't only, I mean, it's one of those puzzles that like it has to catch on from enough different places before the quote mainstream old school scientists, I'll call them
You
old
are
school,
correct.
before they're
You are
able
correct.
to catch on. So would it have to start with maybe like the metaphysicists, or not the metaphysicists, but those scientists that are more open-minded, basically?
Well, number one, it will need all of us. The spiritual community, the scientific community, and those who are reconnecting to their higher frequency information and may not consider themselves spiritual just yet as well. It comes from all of us. Okay? It won't just be one group of people divulging this information. I just so happen to connect to it at this time. Okay? Now, if anyone sees this and they are scientists, I ask you, please go ahead and explore this information. There's a whole national park where these crystalline trees have been laying, and anybody can go there. Please go there. Do your research. Do it for humanity. It is all there. It's just been hidden.
In plain sight.
In plain sight.
Yeah, I come from a different side of it altogether. I do not require science to explain anything to me. I dislike the way that
Exactly.
they try to make everything physical and they completely omit the non-physical side of just about everything. I don't need science to explain silicon beings to me. I understand silicon beings just fine. I you know, they can if they want to. They can go try to prove, disprove. There's nothing to prove or disprove to me. You don't need to prove existence. Existence proves existence. You know, the trees are
Of
sitting
course.
there. You know,
Yeah.
the question is, why do our trees rot and those trees turn into semi-precious gems? What was the difference? Why do those trees turn into gems and our trees rot? Well, because they're not made out of the same stuff. And so when you think, wait a minute, these trees aren't made out of the same stuff, then what are they made out of? They were silicon-based, and we're carbon-based. The carbon-based, during the carbon age, everything rots. During that did that. So will some of our wood petrify? Yeah, and what? It takes, they say, 225 million years for a piece of wood to petrify. This wood didn't petrify and stay wood. This wood petrified and turned into semi-precious gems, semi-precious stone. What does that? There's something going on here. And so they think that these things, these semi-precious gem trees, are not the full trees. They're just branches of the trees. The main parts of the trees are what have turned into the crust of the earth right there.
It's mind-blowing.
It's I don't know what to say. It's like it's like you live in a baked bean world, and then you find out that the world just before this one was all coleslaw.
Whatever that means.
I don't know how much it's weird. It's like all your life they tell you, oh, this is the way things are, this is this, and you find out, no, we really live in a baked bean world. And then you find out the world before this one, the world that created this world, was all coleslaw. It's kind of like,
frustrating as hell.
Nobody told us anything about any coleslaw. Is it creamy coleslaw? Is it the vinegar coleslaw? What kind of coleslaw? So we have all these questions about what the frequency is going on here, because it's like, whoa, somebody just opened this great big can of worms, and all the worms aren't gummy. Some of them are regular. Some of them are not regular. It's kind of like, we want to interview each and every worm. You know, it's kind of like, and then we're asking this, I was asking the silicon being, so why are you coming now? Well, basically, the answer was, this information is coming now because it's finally available. It's now coming out where you can reach it now. You know, it's kind of like, hey, welcome, we've been here. Hey, about time you got here. Hey, humans, hey, look what we got going on over here. And it's kind of like, wow, okay, let's come check it all out. And so, I know my analogies are really weird, but that's what it's like. So you can really wrap your mind around what's going on. So everything that we've been taught about our planet probably isn't quite true. But then finding out which of it is, you know, and then why is it so different, and why is it so vastly different? And maybe one of the reasons that it's not been discussed openly is because nobody can really just wrap their mind around it, because nobody can jump from bean to coleslaw very easily. It's two very different, complete mindsets, and it takes a minute to kind of go, oh, wait a minute. So that's why I said when I finally figured out that all of our history that they've been trying to tell us has only been the carbon-based information. The age before this one, the silicon age, nobody said anything. And that was so great about this article, because it poses the question, what if? How come? Why nobody says anything? And then the information just started flowing. And so here's Sarah and I talking on another forum, and we're just chatting, hanging out like we do, like we've been doing for, I don't know what, a couple of years now. And we're just talking, and then all of a sudden, boom, the silicon being comes through. Hey, guess what? You guys are onto something here, and you're right, and all this stuff is going on, and this energy's coming, and welcome, and all these things. I'm kind of going, what? Huh? Because it's kind of like, you know, It's like you're swimming in chocolate milk, and the next thing you know, you're swimming in cherry jello, and it's like, what the heck just happened here? What? And then it's trying to explain, you know, what was the real deal, and go, oh, those things really were trees, and then the information started flowing, and then I started remembering some dreams I had. Sarah started remembering some stuff, and it's kind of going, well, okay, well, this is all fine and this is all good. What are you on about? What do you want to do? Well, we just want the information to be propagated, and we want you to help us. And so that I didn't know that's what today's topic was going to be, but that's today's topic. And so
that's what it is.
the information's really wanting to go out there. So I'm glad you all are here to try to wrap your minds around this with us, because how do you go from beans to coleslaw without going like really wacko? But evidently there's a whole, so now here again, you've been given the bean history of the world, and now you find out, oh, there's a whole coleslaw aspect that we've never been told about. Nobody even thinks about it. It explains so much of the stuff. You know, and so, oh, so anyway, everybody's being invited to chime in on the coleslaw version of our bean world.
All right, let's just say bean, carbon, coleslaw, silica.
Silicon. Yeah. It's carbon and silica. So, or silicon, yeah. Okay. Which really made me wonder about Silicon Valley, because what kind of being are powering all of our computers? Hello? Silicon Valley. Why is it Silicon Valley? Because there's all silicon there. Why is silicon used? Because it's one of the very highly most conductive things that we have.
Mm-hmm. And it carries a lot of information in a small amount.
These silicon beings are in every one of your computers. A piece of silicon being is in one of your... Oh, hello? So, silicon... Was it silicon isn't exactly from around here? Which one isn't exactly from around here? Anyway,
what do you mean?
I don't know where silicon was created at. I don't know if silicon is a purely Earth thing or if it's a universal thing. That the silicon that helped create our planet may actually have come from somewhere else. I don't know. Uh-oh, now I've done it. This happens a lot. She knows.
Is she about the channel?
This is Sarah going away. Yes, this is Sarah going away. So I've asked a huge question. And
uh-oh.
Yes, as you have come to an awareness of an energy vibrational change.
Hello, Silicon. Hello, Silicon Being. How are you?
We are fine, thank you.
Can you offer some clarity to the things that I've been saying? Can you please add clarity to the bean/coleslaw conundrum here?
We are all made of stars.
That's helpful. Thank you.
As you are. And you have been told before.
Yes, but we don't often think of it because it's not a very practical thing to think and apply into our everyday life when you're told that you're made of stars, but it just doesn't really sink in until you see some of the stars you're made out of, and it really hits home then. So, yes, that's interesting. Thank you. That was the piece that was missing that I was looking for. Thank you for that clarity.
You are welcome.
Are you willing to take questions from the group of people that we have amassed here?
Yes, please.
Who has a question? Somebody? Chris? Chris has a question. Go ahead and chime in, Chris.
I spoke to Sarah about lion beans. Is this, and it was almost synchronistic with the revealing of you as an entity or being around Earth at this time. Is this also synchronistic with the Sphinx and the information that is held within that location? Thank you.
Yes. More will be available. When I say more, we mean information. will be available to humanity as the level of vibration rises. You may all watching, you may all connect to this energy, this frequency, this vibration, should you choose to do so. Much information and knowledge you may be able to use in your everyday lives. How you choose to use it is up to you.
And Bree, did you have a question for the silicon energy?
Yes, hello. Thank you so much for coming through. This is fascinating for me to hear of, especially that the case of the caterpillar, because in past, through channelings and stuff, people have, and beings have been talking about how we are all crystalline beings and we're being upgraded, and how the earth is also being upgraded. And so as the frequencies continue to rise, we will continue to move from, it sounds like this, carbon-based to silicone-based. So can you maybe touch on some aspects of further changes we might start to see in ourselves or in the planet as this continues to happen, like maybe things we can look out for to be able to point out to people and say, hey, check this out, this is happening, something like that?
You have already begun to notice the changes. As spoken of, the caterpillar, your own human body as well. More of the carbon trees are dying to make room for the high vibrational trees that will grow in its place. More animals will begin to display crystalline effects as well. Do you need more?
It's very interesting to really wrap your mind around, especially coming from the brainwashing that we've grown up with. So I would, if you are able to give maybe more details, I'm very curious. Somebody had actually synchronistically sent me channeling the other day. I haven't listened to it yet, but it was regarding how we physically will be changing, and even like our head shape could change in the future with these things happening. So I'm very curious if you could elaborate a little bit more on like our bodies and the changes that may occur. And also, is it true that like wearing metal and things like that we won't be able to anymore as these changes continue?
Those are all choices that are made individually. How you use your changing in vibration is up to you. There are many possibilities of change that are available to you and the animals and the trees. Your version of your body is all a choice. You may display crystalline effects such as the caterpillar with the crystals on its back. You may choose to display effects of crystals on your head. You may choose to display effects of crystals on any portion of your body. You may choose to have crystals within your body only. You may choose not to have crystals within you or without as well. It is all a personal decision for each individual being. Does that help you?
Yeah, absolutely it does. It's very exciting to look forward to the future and understand that
Thank you.
miracles are everywhere and amazing things are going to happen. So, yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. Are there any more questions?
Yes, hi.
Carolina.
This is Carolina. Thank you, Dan. I just wanted to ask if you could please clarify. Are you Silicon Collective? Is it different from the Crystal Collective? Could you explain the difference?
We are one and the same. You may call silica a fluid. The crystals are hardened fluid. And yet it is the same. It carries the same vibrational frequency. It is a matter of choice and decision of how it chooses to perceive itself.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to say that about 4 nights ago, I had a dream where I had, I feel a very strong connection with crystals. And about 4 nights ago, when I had a dream, I was a being which had crystals in my hand. I don't remember if I was human or not, but what I could do, I had the ability to change these crystals into different shapes, like a fluid, like like a gooey type of form. This particular crystal was a green type of crystal, and I could stretch it out. And I stretched it in a form of a heart. And in the middle, I could see it was so thin already that I could see the light through. Could you enlighten me on what that was about, please?
Yes, you and many others will begin to manipulate silica, crystal in its fluid form. And as you complete your transfiguration of that silica, it will harden to become crystal as you perceive it at this moment.
Is that part of how Atlantis was constructed?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
But thank you so much. Send you my love.
Much love to you as well.
Anybody else have a question?
I have a question regarding, and maybe we shouldn't even elaborate too much into this, but maybe just a quick answer. Has the history of the silicone-based Earth, including, it sounds like, also civilizations like Atlantis, has that also been part of the control structure that has purposely been kept from us so that we were unable to understand the reality of where we really live and what the possibilities really are? Kind of like also pyramid technology and how all that stuff has been suppressed?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, it is time, right? Let me get it back out there. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Yeah, it was a huge Yeah, sorry, Brie, go ahead. Well, I was saying it was just a huge co-creation. All right, very huge co-creation. So the silicon realm knew that it was going to collapse. And it collapsed from its higher vibrational to a lower vibrational. You know, our journey here on the planet has all been an exercise of separation. We wanted to see how far we could separate ourselves from ourselves and then get back to ourselves again. That's always been the challenge. And so even though the silicon realm was a grand realm, it knew at some point it was going to come to a close, and then another realm would come after that. But what's happening here is we've kind of gone down as far down as we cared to go in vibration, and now we're working our way back up again, or we're riding the planet, which is also going up, and we're able to access this information again. So it's really, really neat how it's all going out. But it's not that itself was hidden. It was just part of the process of us separating ourselves from ourselves so that we can challenge ourselves to get back. It was all a co-creation. It wasn't so much a conspiracy per se as it was just part of the separation that we chose to experience to see how far we could go away before we went back home.
Both answers are correct.
There we go.
Yeah, it's all allowed. Interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do feel it's a bit of both worlds. In my own reality, I feel like it is a little bit of both, so that is interesting. So thank you.
Yeah, I don't have any more questions right now. I don't know if anybody else does. Chris does?
Just
no?
real quick. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you once again. Nice to speak with you. I was wondering, have you the people that are here or the people that are listening, have you tried to communicate to us yet?
We are doing so now.
Prior to this, I meant to clarify.
Prior to this, the information in this nature, in this awareness and understanding had not been released. The information of the crystalline trees had been released. The reasoning for the crystalline trees as the humans have perceived it for eons had been disguised and not allowed. People were able to see the trees but not understand its significance. Does that answer your question?
He fell out. I guess we'll have to assume that it will answer his question as soon as he gets rebooted and comes back.
I do have another question. I had been told after the Hot Springs, Arkansas retreat, driving back home with Wendy, and we had a lot of amazing synchronistic events happen on the way home. Like, it was one thing after another, signs and just like all this amazing stuff. And one of the things that continued to pop up, and then she was getting these like downloads of information regarding what some of the things meant, was like sandpiper was one of the words that kept coming up, and how I would be able to, in the future, I guess, future, in quotes, communicate with these different aspects of Gaia and help get messages out there from Gaia to humanity that haven't been spoken from different collectives, even including, it sounded like sand beings or sand collectives, sand creatures that we don't yet understand in our modern day society. So could you maybe touch a little bit on whether this is, I'm feeling like it might be very well related to this topic of silicone-based beings. Would you be able to speak on that a little bit?
It is related. Sand is made up of crystals. It is very fine crystals. It has its own awareness and consciousness as well. Allow the information to be perceived by you. Receive it from inside out. That is my answer.
Beautiful. That is very interesting, because then that gets my mind really going on all the stuff that's really out there. And even here on this earth, all the beings and collectives and types of life forms and consciousnesses that we don't even understand or know that exist yet. So things are going to get very interesting and fascinating. So I appreciate that confirmation. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Anything more?
Yeah, Caroline is asking, what is it called when there are small baby crystals growing from a bigger crystal? Here we call them like a cluster, but she's asking what the small baby crystals growing from a bigger crystal are called.
The idea of names is a human effect.
Yeah.
You may call it whatever you wish.
So it's just another portion of their little crystal habitat co-creation thing there, Caroline?
Yes.
All right. I don't have any more questions. Anybody else have a question other than that one? Is that one the last question? Are there any special abilities coming back from Atlantis and Lemuria? Will there be more information on those civilizations as we go along with some of this silicone idea?
Yes.
I'm getting there's like engineering ideas, other creational ideas, similar like that. Yeah, okay. Wonderful. So yes, the answer is yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
All right, Michelle, go ahead.
So, I haven't read enough into this, but I assume this is also happening in our bodies, and I've been hearing about it for a while. More
Yes.
crystalline DNA. Along with that, I experience a lot of sensations in my body on a regular, a daily basis that feel, well, they don't feel normal.
That is to be expected.
Yeah.
As you are in process of transformation.
Okay. So is this making me, like, for instance, like when I feel my body jerking, or like my head turning, or my eyes moving, or I feel energy surrounding like my whole auric field, etc. Is that an amplification because of the change in the structure of the DNA?
That is correct.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Oh, before you go, can I just say the other day I was holding some crystals in my hand, a couple of moldavites and a agate, and suddenly my hand started to twitch. Do you know what that was? It twitched for about 10 minutes.
You were connecting to their frequencies. Their frequencies will help you and your healing capabilities.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
That is very interesting for me to hear. This is actually the first time I've been hearing, because I'm aware of ascension symptoms to a certain degree and how people can go through different things, but the twitching in particular is interesting to me because I've had such major ups and downs with body twitching that I previously thought was Lyme disease that I had. But some of the twitching has still continued. This is the first time I'm hearing this related to the ascension frequencies. So you also had mentioned eyes twitching. So like even the eyeballs, would that also be, because I know eyelids twitch pretty frequently, and that could be, stress, caffeine, whatever. But the eyeballs themselves twitching, could that also be an ascension symptom? Or, I mean, it technically could almost any sort of symptom be an ascension symptom? Like, it's hard to narrow it down sometimes, I think.
Eyeballs twitching is another effect. Your entire body is transforming. Your awareness of who you are and your connection to vibrational frequencies are also changing. This one, her eyes flashes constantly every time she connects to a new frequency, right before she channels that frequency. It is an aspect of connecting to other frequencies outside of your physical self.
that is fascinating, and that is a big confirmation for me. I had been told, oh, it could be your Kundalini wanting to be released, oh, it could be this, that, or the other health issue, but I started to feel like it wasn't a negative thing after a while, and now it's like I don't really mind it. I'm used to it, so it's very interesting to hear, and I think that we can all sometimes look at things from a different perspective and realize maybe it's not always negative or like the way that we had originally feared. So just wanted to throw that out there. So thank you so much for that information. I do have to go, but thank you for coming through, and so much love to you and the collective, and we really appreciate this information because it is literally going to change the world. So thank you.
You are welcome. We will go now.
right.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for all that you have spoken about, and thank you for bringing through and co-creating this day with us. And much love.
Much love.
Namaste.
Much love.
Have a drink.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Have a drink.
You're welcome.
That was a new and exciting vocal tone.
Yeah, that's the silicon being. They're learning how to speak again, so it takes a little bit.
No, it's very cool. Sweet.
Yeah, you're gonna need some more water here in a minute, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We've been going very nearly 2 hours. You want to consider closing?
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
they're still here.
That's all right. They can be there for a little bit, but I know you're going to be jelly for a little bit, so you might want to take a break.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming. What a day.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Christopher said thank you, Sarah.
Yes, I heard him. Thank you for coming, Christopher. Thank
don't
you
know what
all
happened.
for joining us today.
Chris fell out, and then Shirley fell out, and then Bree fell out. Right, boom, 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 right in a row.
That's okay.
So you have the disconnect button. So the only thing I would like to say is that we'll try to get the transcribed information out maybe over the next week or two, and then post that on Sarah's pages. So I don't know. We'll title it, I don't know, something tree/silicon something information, and then get that out. So the first information, you guys can read that. So when the beings came through the first time, what they said.
Cool. That is very exciting, Sarah.
Yes, it is. They're still here.
Yeah. They like watching. I found that out yesterday. There's a lot of beings that like watching.
Yeah.
And then it seems like as soon as we get really talking about something really heavy, they'll chime in and tell us what we're talking about. And go, oh, okay, thank you for that. So it's crazy. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
All right. Thank you all. Thank you to YouTubers who are watching. Thank you. You can connect to us on Google Plus and Facebook and YouTube. Conversations with Sarah, Quantum Galactic Society, or Crystal Healers of Gaia. If you loved what you've seen today, please donate. You can connect to me via my website as well. Oxidine, that's SOXIDINE.wix.com/healer. If you would like a session, please contact me through that website or through my email address, soxidine@gmail.com. And I love you all. Namaste.
Bye, everybody. See you later.
Namaste. Good book. Putashaya yatoshi ayanokoya yatahana hino toshi ayota hanae. Isho atahina kasatei wakatoshu yata.
Yes, I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. Galactic blessings.
Perfect.
I was just about to press the stop button, and it's still live. Okay.
It's still live. Perfect.
Whoever would like to do a galactic blessing. Yes.
Well, Chris already kind of did one right there.
Yes. Michelle, would you like to go?
No. She said no.
She said no?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Harris.
I think that one was really good.
That one was really good. Well, I'll give
have no
one.
idea
Caroline, would
what
you like
that
to give
said.
one? That's all right. That's how it begins. Carolina?
Yes, I'd love to. It's just that I'm feeling such a weird frequency. I've never had this before.
Perfect.
I don't know
That's
what.
just the one that's the one that's
I
needed right now. Go ahead and
Yes.
go ahead and go with it.
Okay.
Go ahead and go with it.
Oh, well, I'll give one then.
It's something like. It was like that. I've never done that before.
Okay, so that was like a mix between Arcturian and Crystalline, it seems.
Okay.
Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Is it okay?
I'm kind of shaking.
Yeah, I was like, that was a lot of energy that just went to my head there.
Me too. Wow. Awesome.
Yes. Michelle, what is going on over there? I see you.
Is she
flowing.
in the zone? She's in her zone.
I don't know. I can do a toning if you want. I just have music in me for some reason.
Okay.
I can feel it. Just...
Thank you. Salanika Tusha. Isilinuko Talatuasha. Eke Yosoloto. I Kayashata. Yanayaka. Isuakania Saka. Hushutulutu. Asalatayi. Ni yaka koko sholotowa. Se yaka ni iranakata. Shali Ashutu I Sanaya. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you. I love you. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.